Good morning. I am so excited for this episode of Moms in Real Estate. My name is Angela Fazio, and today's guest is Sam Staskal. Many of you know who she is from her viral video of something that happened at her listing. She's a great real estate agent, but she is such a fun person. I can't wait for you to talk with her. And so let's just get started.
Angela Fazio is an industry powerhouse who has overseen 40,000 homes sold and $9 billion in production. And Kristen Cantrell is one of the nation's most accomplished team leaders, helping thousands of agents build their businesses. They are passionate about educating, encouraging, and empowering moms in real estate. Our next episode starts now.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, you guys.
Kristen. And Sam, I am so excited that you're here today. Thank you for your time. Give us a little bit about you to get us started.
Well, I am a mom of four, and I live in Platteville, Wisconsin. And I just started in real estate a year and a half ago.
Yes, but I'm going to tell you, I love your story. You were in graphic design for like 20 years, sitting in a cubicle. And I'm not going to lie, getting to know you, I don't know how in the world you sat in a cubicle.
I don't either. What was that thing you said about when you would sit in the cubicle? Do you guys remember? You made this funny joke. You have to say it.
I don't remember, but it's like.
I know what it was. You were sitting in a cubicle, and then you got promoted to next to the window.
You got a window seat. Yeah, and then they took the window seat away.
And anyone who's ever sat in a cubicle can totally relate with you, because it is like when you get a window, it is like you're like you've made it, and then to take that away, that's so sad.
Yeah, they moved us around a lot. Like they were constantly reorganizing, so sometimes they'd move us down to the lower level called the basement.
Oh my God!
Or you'd be in the center of the building with absolutely no windows at all, so you have no concept of time because it's dark when you get to work. It's dark when you leave work. It's just you feel like that's all you do.
It's like prison.
That's like sounds like a psychological terrible.
I know
it is. It really got to the point that I was becoming very negative, and it made myself sick. Just the idea of going into work every day. You lay in bed on like a Monday morning and you're like calculating in your head, how much paid time off do I have? Like, could I call in today or do I need to save that? Like, when does it renew? How much time do I have?
It's so true. And I think so many people can relate to that. I had like 3 years where I had a job like that. And it was like every Sunday night I was like, oh, I don't want to go in.
This was 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is
my whole adult life. My whole adult life.
I feel like you need to be rocked or something.
I do too. I want to hug you.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to learn so much about you because you really hit the ground running with real estate. I don't want you guys to forget this. She is a kick-ass real estate agent for sure. But we've got to find out why she's famous. So we're going to be looking at her video that went viral, got over 15 million views.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
And what you see in this video is like, I'll tell you the story of how we even met in a few minutes, but let's start watching this video. So watch this first clip.
So I'll make this quick, just a quick story time. So I'm Sam Staskal, and I'm a realtor in Southwest Wisconsin. And I was just showing a house to a client, male, and his fiance couldn't join us, unfortunately. Thank God she wasn't there. Because, so we're walking around the outside of this house, right? And I'm wearing a dress. And some sandals. And I'm clumsy, but I'm also I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl, I'll admit it. So I'm wearing a dress. We're walking around the outside. And I had my clipboard and my phone and my keys. And I'm walking around pointing at stuff at the house, showing them it, talking of it. Everything's going fine. And out of freaking nowhere, I'm on the ground with my dress above my head. Oh, God. I don't even know what the hell happened. Thank God he was walking in front of me. he heard a shriek. And when he turned around, I was sprawled out on the ground. He thought I was pranking him. Like, what kind of realtor pulls her dress over her head and throws herself on the ground? I'm not that kind of prank. So anyway, I like quick pull my dress back down, and the guy, he's like, "Are you okay? Is your ankle hurt or anything?" I'm like, "No, I think I'm good. I think I just hurt my pride."
I've seen that. I've seen that video many times, and it's never going to get old.
No, it takes me right back there. I'm right back in the moment.
I can't imagine. Now we're going to see the rest of the video and clip, but I cannot imagine me wearing a dress and it going straight over my head.
A lot of people ask her, like, what the hell kind of dress do you have on? You know, that it could go up. Well, I said I was a big girl, you know, so it's like a tent. You know, it was just a flowy, straight, like t-shirt dress. So yeah, there was plenty of room for that thing to fly.
Of all the things, like you're trying to be professional, you know, you're trying to like, it's already awkward sometimes to have people you don't really know and showing them the house and getting to know them. And I can't imagine yes, I can.
Well, and throw in the fact that you're brand new. So like, this is awkward for you if everything goes perfect. So, like,
and the thing with him is he didn't talk a whole lot. Like usually I'm very talkative, friendly, you know, usually I get this rapport going right away and we talk and we kind of go back and forth. You know, I didn't have that with him. You know, he came straight from work in his dress khakis, button down shirt, dress shoes. You know, he was a professional, you know.
Well, you had to find a way to break the ice, so that's perfect.
She broke something, that's for sure.
So what am I going to do to get to this guy?
This is not the way I intended to get him to be my friend. He's not the guy I wanted to fall in front of, you know, because like afterwards, when I'm laying on the ground, you have no idea what they're thinking, you know. And he didn't say anything right away. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's how do you recover, you know?
Well, let's
say anything.
Let's go to the next clip really quick. I'm going on to the next clip. Hold on.
In the meantime, I'm like, how do I get up? I know he just like saw all my lady parts because my dress was over my head. And the neighbor outside out back, I mean, he had to have seen too because he was working in his garden. Here's this fat gal laying on the ground with her dress over her head. Some type of professional real estate agent I am. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
And wait, let me get this straight. You hadn't seen the house yet, right?
No. No, we just started. Just started.
Shoot.
How did you walk through that house? What did you say in the house?
I remember the house. I remember the house because I remember they had glittered ceilings, you know, and that was like a big thing, like late 80s, early 90s, because I remember it from my aunt and uncle's house having it, you know. So I mean, that kind of broke the ice too, because he's like, what the, you know, and I'm like, it was big back in the day. But this house wasn't that old, so the fact that it had it, I was just like, that's odd.
That's just a weird day. You're like, I fall, my dress goes up over my head, a house with sparkly ceilings, like,
yeah.
How do you transition from that? I mean, that transition must have been like, whatever, what are you going to do?
I was still shocked that I was okay.
Yeah.
You know, because how did I not get hurt? And I think I didn't get hurt. Normally I get hurt. So the fact that I didn't get hurt just tells me that it just happened so quick that I didn't even try to catch myself, you know?
Wait, go back to the fact that he had no reaction. And then you get up and you're like, okay, let's go look at the house.
He had like no reaction. I like flipped my dress back down and I'm laying there. I'm like, am I okay? am I okay? You know, and I'm like, okay, you know? And so I get back up and I'm picking my stuff up and he's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And I'm just like, did you see that? Because I could totally feel my dress over my head. You know, like I could feel my rolls like flopping around, like I was rolling on the ground, just like,
oh my gosh.
You could feel it. I could feel it. I knew where my dress was. I knew.
Oh my God. And then you asked him, did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like, no, I didn't see anything.
What are you going to say?
Well, he's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. Because if he would have said I saw everything, I would have died.
Yeah.
I would have died.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm glad he said, no, I didn't see anything. Are you okay? You know, and because I wouldn't have been able to carry on, I think, if I had known. Like I actually like convinced myself, like, okay, he didn't see. But how could you not? I'm a big girl. How could you not see that?
See, I would have rather someone ran up and been like, oh my gosh, that was the best thing I ever saw. Because then I would feel so comfortable. It's all out in the open. I don't have to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, he didn't joke. He didn't, nothing.
Oh
you know, so I was just like, okay, moving on now. Would you like to check out the shed?
Oh,
He's probably like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen next.
What was in the shed?
All right, let's look at another clip. Let's keep going.
Anyway, my shoes weren't even close to my body. I mean, I don't even know what the hell happened. It happened so quick. And I thought, okay, I must have stepped into a hole. And when I looked around for a freaking hole. There was no hole. I mean, how do you step, fly backwards, throw all your crap and your dress over your head at the same time? I mean, how the hell does that happen?
Question. In Arizona, where I did all my real estate, we have like block fences, mostly like block walls, and like no, no. So no fences.
No. No. In fact,
so the neighbor definitely saw.
Oh, definitely. At least one neighbor. I mean, I don't know how many would have seen from their windows, because this house was unique in that it was a weird property that it was set back behind all the other houses. So it's like in the center, and then you have a block of houses around it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there was plenty of opportunity for anybody in that neighborhood to have seen it all.
That is so good.
I was in their backyard. And
is it common for people to have cameras?
I don't know. Probably not in the back of their house, thank God. Probably not in the back of the house, because I mean, like, the Ring doorbells would be on the front.
So
I was behind all the houses.
So it's pretty common around us for people to have cameras inside their house. I mean, it's pretty common. And we had a dog sitter once, and I don't spy on people who are like at our house. I don't, but I just happen to look to see, is she there? Right. And I caught at the exact right time that she was literally, she was probably in her 60s. All right. She was literally on her hands and knees pretending to be a dog with my dogs.
Best dog sitter ever.
Wait, how do you know that's the exact right moment? Maybe the whole time she was doing that. And hopefully that's like the extent of it.
That's your resume right there.
I mean, honestly, I'd be like, thank you. I will never do that for my dog.
Oh my God. I can't unsee it. Like if you, I wish I could put the picture.
Was this for Buddy?
It was for Mimi and Buddy. Yeah.
Okay, Buddy's huge. So to think of a girl like acting like a dog with her humongous horse is great. Thank you.
I had 3 dogs at the time. And she's on her hands and knees acting like a dog.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
So did this person ever what is this?
Was this an exposed or homegirl show?
Oh my right aside.
So did this guy buy a house from you?
Yes.
Oh thank God.
Not that one. Not that one.
Not that one.
No.
Not the sparkly ceiling one.
No.
Okay.
No.
So listen to, I think this is the clip, or I don't know if it's this clip or the next clip that I pee my pants when I hear it. Okay, hold on.
Anyway, so my shoes weren't by my body. I broke my pop socket off the back of my phone. My clipboard, the head on my shoulder. It was just like flung to the side. So not only do I have to pick up my pride off the ground, I have to pick up all my shit too. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm so embarrassed. My leg is grass stained. I'm pretty sure my underwear is grass stained. He says he didn't see a thing. I think he's lying. There's no way you don't see fat old me on my back with my dress over my head. There's no way you miss that. God, I hope there was no cameras in the neighborhood. Oh my God, so that's my story for tonight. I can say I've been through it all now. I've done it all.
Now it's the next step. I can't wait for it.
Yeah. I have to tell you something though, before I forget. If you look back at that clip that you just showed, I only have eyeliner on one eye.
That's awesome.
I had it. I swear, when I went out to that showing, I had it on both eyes like I do now. But I had called my mom on my way to the in-between showings, and I was like bawling because I was laughing so hard I couldn't even breathe. And I must have wiped it off the one eye. If you pay attention in the rest of the videos that you show, you'll see that one eye is definitely darker than the other eye. A viewer got the biggest kick out of that. They emailed me like, "What's great is you don't have eyeliner on one eye." I'm like, "What?" I know I had it on.
I didn't notice. And I'll tell you what, when I was in college, you remind me of one of my friends from college. She was so like comfortable with herself and she was so funny. It didn't matter what happened to her, and lots of shit happened to her. She would laugh about it. So she was, you know, those eyelash curler things. She was doing that to one of her eyes, and her elbow slipped off the edge of the dresser. And she pulled off 3/4 of her eyelashes, completely out of her eyelashes.
That sounds painful.
It was, first of all, it was very painful, but she looked so funny. You know when you look with just like eyelashes here and just like 3 or 4 there and all the rest gone?
I have to tell you, that just recently happened to me, and I just got them back.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I always put my, I don't know how you're supposed to use eyelash curler. I always like put that mascara on and then I would crimp them.
No.
You know, now I know that, Kristen.
Where were you before it happened?
Because I've done that my whole life. I've done it that way. I put my mascara on and crimped it. Well, it was like, I don't know, 2 months ago maybe. I like pulled it without it all being open, and it stuck. And it literally, it pulled all of them out.
Oh my gosh.
That's so.
It's real. It happens.
There would be a day where I knew more about makeup than somebody else. I know nothing, but I do know that. I know that now.
Because of that girl from college, I've never used an eyelash curler. And
I know. I actually am scared of them. I'm like, what's going to happen with this thing?
Okay, so here's my favorite part of the clip. Listen carefully to her phraseology.
I mean, this winter I fell down the steps and I scooped up my client on my lap on the way down, and she rode me like a sled. Oh, at least I have a sense of humor. I mean, and he better have a sense of humor too, since he just saw me naked. Oh God. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. How do you look a guy in the face after that? I mean, and what the hell is he going to tell his fiance?
Listen to me. She rode me like a sled.
I know.
I didn't think anything of that when I said it. I mean, I always blurt stuff out. So, I mean, it just came out, and that wasn't even the point of my story. A lot of people fixated on that. And that's when they tell me they just lost it. It was that part. And I'm like, that's the part you lost it at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And such a visual.
What do you think, or maybe you know, but what do you think the conversation was when he got home to his fiance?
Oh,
I have to tell you
that was.
Well, he didn't tell anybody for quite a while. Like, he told me it was like 3 days later he had told his sister. He didn't tell his fiance because he didn't know how to tell it to her, and he didn't think anybody would believe him. So he told his sister like 3 days later.
So he did admit he saw.
Oh, he saw everything.
Oh,
Everything.
my gosh. Well, I know he saw everything.
He said he literally thought I dropped dead.
And he sat there quiet. And then he didn't tell his fiance for 2 days.
He said he was so stunned he didn't know what to do. So he just he pretended he didn't see it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I continued to show him houses after this. Even, I made that video and I posted it right away, and I never gave it another thought until later the next day. It was like 24 hours later. I hadn't been on Facebook all day, so I had no idea it was going viral. I just figured nobody watches my Facebook. Who cares? I mainly did it for my, like my family to see. And just because I had to tell somebody because I was dying. So it was like 5 o'clock the next night. Everybody was commenting on my Facebook. I'm like, what are they talking about? They're like, you're going viral. And I'm like, what's going viral? And I opened it up. And I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if he saw, because I had to show him other properties, and he never mentioned it.
Wow.
And the house that he ended up putting an offer in on, I got to tell you this. Do we have time?
Absolutely. This is great.
So he was interested in this for sale by owner house. No biggie. I reached out to the seller and asked if she's okay with me showing her house. She says, yeah, great. Just stop by. I told her I'd come early and walk through it with her, and then I'd walk through it with them. So this would be the first time I've seen him with his fiance since I fell. Okay. Cause she wasn't at the last one. Anyway, I show up to the for sale by owner, and the lady opens the door and she's like, oh my God, you're her.
No.
Awkward.
Oh, that's so good.
It's like, I can't believe it's you and you're here. And I said, well, then you're really going to lose your shit, because the guy that I fell in front of is coming to look at your house. And she thought it was like the best thing ever.
I would too. I would so too.
Yeah, she was like a giddy little schoolgirl. She couldn't believe we were both looking at her house, And I said, she asked something about, does he know? And I'm like, I don't think he's seen the video. I said, I don't think he has Facebook, But I don't think he has Facebook. His fiance definitely has Facebook, but I don't know that he does. So that little stinker, that lady sent them a link to the video that night after the showing.
Oh my God.
But the whole showing, when I'm like showing him and his fiance, at first when they showed up, like you could have cut the tension with a knife is what it felt like to me. It probably felt fine to them, but to me, I was like, oh my God, they know. But they never mentioned it. And so it was actually like 2 days later, he had texted me and asked me, it was stuff about business. It was something about the inspection or something. I don't remember what it was, and I'm like, okay. And then he's like, oh, and by the way, I was just getting a cup of coffee, and a couple guys in my break room were dying laughing at this video. And I look over, and it was you talking about our showing. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're not upset with me. And he's like, I about spit my coffee out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, we're good. I'm like, you never mentioned it. And he goes, I didn't know what to say. I was shocked. I'm like, you can tell by your face that you were kind of like, what do I do? And that's when he told me, he says, I honestly told nobody. I told my sister 3 days later. And then when that for sale by owner sent it to my wife or my fiance, and we watched it, then we talked about it. So then I text his fiance, and I'm like, hey, sorry, I heard you saw the video. I hope, you're not mad or anything. I didn't tell anybody your name or anything. And she's like, I was more mad at him. I asked, did you help her up? And he's like, I didn't know what to do. I was shocked. He goes, well, did you at least help her pick her shit up? And I'm like, no, I had to pick it all up by myself.
Yeah, he has a lot of explaining to do. Like, next time you help somebody.
Yeah, she's like, what a jerk. And I'm like, he was probably shocked by what he just saw.
I got to tell you, now I want to tell people the way that we met, because when my husband, I was eating sushi and drinking wine, which I do a lot. And we were sitting having a date, which we have almost every day. And he says, you've got to see this video. And I am so grateful for so many things about you, but that you made that video, because my immediate response was, I have to know this girl, right? And so that's what I love about it, because every time I talk to you, you've been the same person. You're super genuine. You're obviously a great professional. Like, we've also been able to talk that way about real estate, and I have the blessing of being now one of your partners. We're all partners here on this call. I love it because anybody who watches that video and is the kind of person that you would want to work with will want to know you because of that video, because it was so authentic. It's authentic. And think about the years and years and years of stories you've given people. The house, your buyer, the fiance, probably their whole family. Like, you have no idea. You know how many times I've talked about your story?
I know.
It's just it's so full of joy and authenticity, and laughing is so great, especially during the home buying process. I'm not going to lie, it's a stressful process for people. And just that, to work with you must be an absolute pleasure. So I know that you're going to get tons of business from this, and you deserve it.
You so do.
I have to tell you that, well, first of all, after that video went, I got tons of friend requests from people saying, don't think I'm a stalker or a freak. They all started out with that. Don't think I'm a stalker or a freak. I just have to be your friend.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine, And
it's a good thing I'm in the business of making friends. So
right. Yeah. I like friends. But what happened, it was like soon after that video, I had called my bank because I got locked out of my online banking, right? So I called my bank, and whoever answered the phone, she's like, oh my God. Because I told her I was locked out of my account. She's like, are you Sam Staskal? And I'm like, how do you know that? She goes, well, my caller ID says Sam, STAS, and then it cuts it off. And I love you. And I started laughing. She goes, and your laughing voice is a dead giveaway. She goes, I can't believe I'm talking to you. And she's going on and on. I'm like, oh, this is weird.
It is weird. It's awesome.
Yeah, it went on for a couple of minutes. Then she's like, why did you call me? And I'm like, I need help with my online banking.
Oh, wait. Back to me. Back to me being locked out. Yes.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about how people can possibly work with you, not only as a client in real estate or as a referral partner, but in real estate. But before we do that, let's watch the very last part of this clip, and then we'll give you all kinds of information of how can you see some more things that Sam's doing, how can you partner with her if you want to, but let's watch this last clip.
Anyway, I'm okay. My pride's okay. I'll just get back up and pull up my big girl panties. Literally. Anyway. End of story.
I loved it. I loved it for making that video. I bet you're glad you made it.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I am. But I showed it to my best friend, Jenny. She texted me back after I sent it to her. And she goes, it's a funny video. She says, but I don't understand why everybody's just getting such a kick out of it. This is like every time I talk to you, Sam.
I was going to say, I feel like you're like that.
What's that, Kristen?
Oh, I was going to say, like, just talking to you the few times I have, I feel like it is totally you. And that is why people should work with you. Like, you're just a good time,
Yeah. Yep. And you're super smart. Like the way that you approach your business and the way that you treat your clients and how you're growing your business, because I don't know if we said this on this call yet, but when Sam started in real estate, she literally hit the ground running. Right. It wasn't, it took me 6 months to get my stuff together. She literally hit the ground running and is a great producer. So one of the things that, like, I'm going to say what Kristen, I'm pointing to Kristen right now, is what she said is that video isn't a one-off for you. It is who you are. You are that enjoyable and that authentic, and like that stuff does happen to you. And I think if all of social media was more like that, wouldn't that be great? And so you have a plan. So tell people about your plan. We don't have to reveal the name or anything quite yet, but tell people about the plan that you have to bring more of this kind of laughter to our real estate world.
Yes, I am super excited to start a podcast and a YouTube channel dedicated just to stories just like mine of not necessarily what happened to you in real estate, but maybe just funny things you saw or funny things that happened, either you as a client or as agent yourself. I would love to hear the stories. So I'm starting to connect with people and start, scheduling out what the show will look like. So if anybody's interested, you could definitely drop me an email.
Here, I have your email so people can have it, because really, especially if you're in real estate and you've had something funny happen to you, you could be a guest on her show. Plus, we want to get to know you. There's an opportunity for real estate agents out there to become one of our partners through the EXP model. And so if you want to learn more about that, reach out to Sam as well, and we can all have a conversation about that. Let me get this off so I can see your face again. There we go.
So the plan is to get going with this show in November. I'm really pretty excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. For one, I love talking to new people, which is why I love my job. And I always tell everybody I love my job. I was stuck in such a negative space for such a long time, and it's like I'm free from jail now, So I want to talk to everybody I can talk to. I want to talk to. I just can't shut up.
Yes, and you're delightful, so it's worth listening. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Okay, so you work in Wisconsin, and you're also in the process of getting your license in Iowa. So people who have referrals to the Platteville, Wisconsin, and 20 minutes away Iowa area can send you referrals for real estate. And if you're in real estate and you want to work with us and you want to find out what that means, just reach out. So, hey, Kristen, anything else? What did I forget?
I don't think you forgot anything. I love this one.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
No.
This is my new puppy. It's Max. He's a Cavapoo.
You should just put Max right here the whole show.
I know, he's so cute.
So
All
cute.
right. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Wow. We really had, you have some people saying hi to you. You can go back and look at the comments later. But thank you so much. Really, again, what a pleasure this show has been. Thank you, Kristen, my beautiful co-host. And
Thank you for having me.
stick around. I'm going to end the broadcast, but stay on for a minute. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned next week for our next guest.
Bye.
See ya.